Oh, hi kids! Oh, it's time for another episode of the Grandpa Ken Stewart Show, starring Grandpa Ken David Stewart and me, Kermit the Frog, and I think we might have Harley on today too. I'm just gonna see if I can find Harley the Hog.
Here I am, Kermit. Here I am. Yeah, it's another episode of the Grandpa Ken Stewart Show, and he said he's going to start reading us a new book today by Mercer Mayer. Let's see what it's called, Just Me and My Puppy. It's going to be about dogs today. Oh, boy! Hello, kids. Just Me and My Puppy by Mercer Mayer, the critter. I love these critter books, and I know you do too. Oh wow! Today we're going to read a story about where little critter gets a puppy. Oh gee, you could tell in the cover there he's all getting all tied up with his puppy right there. I wanted a puppy just for me, so I traded my baseball mitt for one. Yeah, how many of us kids want a puppy, you know, or sometimes had a puppy, and if we're really lucky our parents would let us have one. Oh wow, look at Critter, he's got the little puppy out of the box there. He picks it out of the box, and that's what we call a litter, kids. When there's a whole bunch of baby puppies, it's called a litter. And there you can see the little puppy can't talk today, is licking Critter's face. Now Critter's friend looks all happy with the baseball mitt, but she's probably, well, she's already has a dog, right? Then it says, my baby sister liked him right away. But she doesn't look like she really likes the puppy that much, but the puppy is licking her too, and that's what puppies will do. And boy, were Mom and Dad surprised. They said I could keep him if I took care of him myself. I guess Critter didn't tell his Mom and Dad that he was going to buy a puppy. In fact, Grandpa Ken could hear his puppies barking outside right now, really loud. That's Sweetie. She's probably barking at her friend Chloe, who's lives on the other side there. Grandpa Ken has two dogs called Sweetie, a big black dog, and a black and white shorter one called Snuggles. So I am taking very good care of my puppy. I feed him in the morning. And there you can see a bag of dry food that you can get for dogs at pet food stores or Safeway or Superstore or any of those. And they usually put it in a bowl for the puppy to eat. So Critter looks all happy as when he's feeding his puppy, but after a time, you know, some of the times when you first get a puppy, it's really exciting, but then sometimes it's going to seem like work later. He eats every bite. Well, like puppies like us, sometimes we make a mess, right? And little puppies can make a lot of mess. Then I put on his leash and we go for a walk. Oh boy, there's Critter trying to put on a harness. Looks more like a harness. Well, it's a harness attached to a leash. Because the law is if you take your doggy outside of your yard or your house, you've got to put it on a leash. And puppies really like to run and play. I'm teaching my puppy how to heel. Now, to heel means to get the puppy to walk and stop and right alongside of you. In other words, the puppy won't run and pull you. Now that's a very hard trick sometimes to teach your dog. But if you don't, especially if it gets to be a bigger dog, it's going to drag you and pull you all over the place. So it's best if you can train your dog to heel and to stay and all those other basic training tricks. He is learning how to stay. Now that's another important trick to teach your dog, is to stay on command. In other words, for you to say stay and the dog will stay and not get up and run either to you or run away somewhere else. Except when he sees a cat. Oh boy, that's one of the hardest things, right? That when a dog sees a cat, boy, they want to run after it. They really don't want to hurt it. They just want to chase it. They just like to see it run. And sure enough, Critter's puppy sees a pussycat. Grandpa Ken has a pussycat too. Grandma Martha, we have a pussycat called Zoe. Nice black pussycat. And there we go, and Critter's getting pulled away. His puppy's gotten off the leash, and we see the little grasshopper there on the front cover. There's a spider too. Mercer Mayer seems to like in these illustrations to have these little insects too. My puppy knows lots of tricks: how to sit, how to play dead, and how to roll over. He still needs some practice. Actually, Critter's doing a real good job of trying to teach his little puppy tricks, but it doesn't look like the puppy at this point is catching on too well. But don't give up, kids, if you're trying to train your puppy. The puppy may not learn the first time. But he already knows how to fetch. So there we see Critter's tossing a stick or something out, and the puppy's chasing after it. But the puppy ends up taking a lady's hat. Oh boy, and the lady's not happy. There we see the lady is chasing the dog, the little puppy, because the puppy has taken her hat. And now Critter's running too, because the lady is not very happy at this point. My puppy is a big help around the house. He's a good guard dog. Yeah, dogs will often do that. That's why they bark, right? They want to make their owners alert that someone is could be trespassing or is on the property. But sometimes it's a person you want to come to your house, like the postman. And the postman is not too happy right now. And postmen have to put up with dogs all the time, the letter carriers. So please keep your dog in the house if you can, or tied up in the backyard securely if the mailman or the delivery men come around, or delivery people I should say, and mail carriers. He brings in the paper for my dad. Well, there you go. Well, the paper isn't in the best of shape, but the dog means right. The puppy's trying to do a good thing for the dad, for Critter's dad, by bringing him the paper, but it's a little crumpled up. And he keeps me company while I do my homework. Some of you kids, you're going to school, well, it's summer holidays now, but you can remember from last June or last May doing homework. And I don't want to remind you of this, but in September you guys will be going back to school, a lot of you, the older kids, and you'll be doing homework. Now, Critter's trying to do his homework, but his little puppy is sitting right on top, or lying right on top of his work, on top of his book, so it's going to be hard for Critter to do his homework, but he does have company. sometimes my puppy gets dirty, because puppies, a lot of dogs too, like to dig holes in the backyard. And usually mummies and daddies sometimes aren't too happy about that, but they like to dig. And if they get a bone or something, they try and bury it, or even a toy sometimes. Then I give him a bath. That's another job you have to do once in a while. If you have a dog or a puppy, is you have to give them baths, because after a while they'll start to smell. They won't smell very good. So you need to give them a bath. If you live in a warm enough place, where climate where you can do it outdoors, you could try it outdoors. Otherwise, if you live in, an area that gets cold like Canada or like Winnipeg, then where Grandpa lives, then you have to give them a bath right in the bathtub. Some dogs like this, and some dogs don't. Some dogs that don't, you have a hard time even getting them in the bathtub, and even they'll try and jump out sometimes. I get him nice and dry so he won't catch a cold. That's the other thing, like just after when we have a bath, we have to dry ourselves off. We have to dry off our pets too. We have to dry off our dogs. I have to use like sometimes 3 or 4 towels to try and get the dog dry, and even still he's not going to be very dry for a while. And Critter's even using a hairdryer. Then we get ready for bed. There's Critter crawling into bed, and there's his puppy watching him. Oh, how sweet. Just me and my puppy. And there's Critter at the end of the story. He's so happy. And he's all cuddled up and sleeping with his puppy, because he had such a fun time with his puppy today. Wow. I really like that story. Yeah, me too, Grandpa Ken. I really like that story too. I mean, I'm a pig, but it was a pretty cute story about dogs today. Oh yeah, that was a real good one. I'm gonna see if I can find Kermit.
Oh yeah, wow, Grandpa Ken, that was a cool story. And like say, we have 2 dogs. We have Snuggles and we have Sweetie. We have a pussycat named Zoe. So maybe sometime you can read us a story about cats too, or maybe more critter books.
Yes, I can, guys. And thank you, kids, for watching the show today. I really enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoy it too.